Somit ein herzlich willkommen wieder zurück zu eurem Foli von Folis Gamehouse, einem neuen Let's Play The Shapeshifting Detective. Part 1 in Deutsch. Wird natürlich hauptsächlich die Sprache in Englisch sein, ist halt so ein interaktives Game. Also sprich, der Film läuft ab. Man muss gewisse Entscheidungen treffen und wir müssen einen Mord aufklären. Und zwar, die junge Dame wurde gerade eingeblendet. Ja, wir machen aus der Sicht eines Betrachters, eines Detektiven. Und ja, da hoffe ich mal auf eure Unterstützung mit dabei. Und schauen wir uns mal, wie unsere Fähigkeiten und unsere Sinne geschärft sind, um den Fall zu lösen. Ja, noch eine kurze Vorab-Info zu diesem Spiel, zu The Shapeshifting Detective. Ist von den Herstellern von DAVK Studios und Waze Interactive. Ist erschienen Windows, also für PC erschienen im November am 6.2018. Also letztes Jahr, ist noch gar nicht so alt, das Spiel. Eine Woche später, und zwar am 12. Genau, am 12. ist es für die Xbox erschienen und am 14. für PlayStation 4. Ist jetzt nicht kein großes Game, ist aber sehr interessant. Die Macher von Wales Interactive, die haben auch das coole Spiel, was ich zum Beispiel sehr finde, ist Late Shift gemacht. Weiß ihr nicht, was das ist? Einfach mal bei Google eingeben oder einfach mal bei YouTube eingeben. Steht Late Shift oder bei mir auf dem Kanal einfach mal unter interaktiv Games einfach mal nachschauen und da findet ihr auf jeden Fall Late Shift. War für mich damals sehr mega interessant, also hat echt Spaß gemacht. Ich hoffe natürlich bei diesem Spiel auch. Ich schaue nochmal, ob die Einstellungen soweit passen. Yep. Und ich würde mal sagen, wir starten los mit Shapeshifting Detective. Viel Spaß dabei. Achso, ihr findet das natürlich noch Facebook, Instagram und Twitch von demselben Namen, Folis Gamehouse. So, dann wünsche ich eine gute Unterhaltung.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Ms. Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
Directed by
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
wer ich bin. So.
Exactly. Rewind.
Wait. Okay. The Shapeshifting Detective.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Ms. Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
Jetzt hoffe ich mal, dass ich gleich das Richtige will.
You know why you're here, don't you? The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time?
Ja, klar.
It's a rhetorical question. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now. Understood?
Ja, klar.
Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated. Deprecated. We expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpets are priceless. Now, how long are you staying for? That's fine. It's yours for as long as you want it. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in. It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet. Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you?
Also wie gesagt, wir sind der Detektive Sam und müssen den Fall lösen. Wie gesagt, ich hoffe mal, dass ich mich nicht richtig entscheide, sondern so läuft das Fortlaufen dann ab. Falls ich mich mal falsch entscheiden sollte, dann läuft das natürlich, oder anders entscheiden sollte, dann läuft das natürlich dann so ab. Also die Geschichte verläuft sich dann so, wie man sich entscheidet. Ich finde solche Spiele sehr mega interessant. Und Wales Interactive macht das eben hauptsächlich nur die Spiele so, und deswegen muss ich sagen, es ist eine kleine Produktionsfirma. Muss aber sagen, ich feiere sie mega hoch, weil sie legen sich da echt dafür solche Dings ins Zeug, für solche Games. Und ja, wie gesagt, ich bin da echt gehypt davon. Also ich hoffe, ihr auch. Und wir fahren fort.
Chief DuPont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
Just finishing.
Sollen wir uns die Zukunft vorhersagen lassen oder soll ich mir mal mein Zimmer suchen? Ich suche mein Zimmer fragen. Das ist eine gute Frage. Geh mal noch.
Yeah. It's a big place. Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
Broden. Nett dich kennenzulernen. Ich bin Sam.
Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading. So, what's your question, Sam? The Fool. I'm going to see a lot more of you, aren't I, Sam? enjoy the journey. But remember, not everything is winnable.
Man kann nicht alles gewinnen.
I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam? Mysterious. But I know you're in room 4, Sam. Don't do anything I wouldn't do in there.
The kitchen was quiet. The small, heaped body on the mat by the cat flap didn't seem to be moving. These were all good signs. White fur.
Number 4. Gehen wir mal in Raum Nummer 4.
Trying to drag itself up. Its back legs lay helplessly on the floor. No, no, no. Ivan dropped down next to the kitten. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. Tears blurred his vision. He stroked the kitten with the side of his finger. Don't move, okay? Just don't try to move. But the kitten wouldn't stop struggling, suffering. Ivan clenched the towel, then draped it over the kitten's head. He stood and raised his foot. It would have to be a good one. Harder even than a magpie. One and done. The kitten's skull was softer than he expected. It caved easily, the thin bones crackling and fizzing with bubbling blood. The wet towel stuck to his...
Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector DuPont. I wasn't sure you'd come.
Chief Inspector.
Well, I suppose you're between jobs? Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam, that's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw, 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers. Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up. It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs. To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously. Because things, I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it? Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out.
Of course.
Do I have to spell it out? I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork. Your old town? The problem? Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it. What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself.
Okay.
Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m. In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know.
Ist in Ordnung. Haben wir gespeichert.
Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you? She told you she's taking pills, didn't she? Let me handle Violet. She didn't kill anyone. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating? Do I have an alibi for last night? Do I? Okay. I was here, and there are video monitors that will prove it. Thanks for ruling me out, genius. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating?
Er spielt an seinem Stift rum. Der nervös ist er ja schon, der Gute. Das alles so ist.
Farewell. The room service carts, and a roof with a view to die for. In our idle chatter, I pieced together fragments of Tenzin's story. A former monk, expelled for some scandal involving a woman. I guess that's how most of them fall. He had wisdom, though. Of that I have no doubt. The night Tenzin left, he taught me how the universe worked. I close my eyes as the concrete rises up to embrace me. There are infinite realities, he said, and we always exist in the one we believe is most true. The roof of the Dreamtime Hotel was littered with Tenzin's white cigarette butts.
So, dann
like
würde ich mal
scattered finger
sagen,
bones.
so
He
Violet.
gave me one long
Fangen wir mal von
final
oben runter
grin.
an. Schön
And I
die
believe I'm
gewisse Person.
I assume you've been to see Chief DuPont already. Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though. Yes, a lamb. Young. Innocent. Lambs get slaughtered, though, don't they?
Die Code für den Fingernägel.
Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest. Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend. Oscar lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already. They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually. Because they may have killed someone. It's not great for my reputation, is it? Stay at Violet's, the home of killers and hobos. It's not the first time I've harboured killers, Sam. I'm sure it won't be the last. It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere. I've driven by it, never actually been in it. I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person.
Wirklich ernst? Josephine ist doch für Zufrieden, oder nicht? Eigentlich schon.
I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me.
Das ist die
Looney's reply, a
ganz
loud and
koscher, die
indignant
Frau.
meow, was an order. This could only mean one thing. Ivan sat up, scooped
So,
Uni to the floor, and pulled on her
Besuchen wir
t-shirt.
Miss Brown. Brown?
Sam, is it?
Ja.
I'm sensing you're not here for a reading. Chief Dupont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise. I didn't. We've only been here 2 days. I understand it's suspicious me being a stranger in town, but it's the truth. We saw danger in the cards and we tried to stop it. Trust me, Sam, we're on the same team. We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful. Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know. In my room reading, I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me. No, not at all. Lexi popped in and we chatted for a bit, but that's all. I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy.
Die Spirituellen haben ja immer schon ein bisschen was an sich. Aber dass er gleich jemanden umbringt. Ich bin davon nicht ganz so überzeugt, dass sie die Marin sein könnte. Falls ihr irgendeine Idee habt, dann lasst mich da mal wissen. Dann schreibt gleich mal in die Kommentare.
Into the towel, then draped it over the kitten's head. He stood and raised his foot. It would have to be a good one. Harder even than a magpie. One and done. The kitten...
You must be a new guest. Or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way. Pleased to meet you, Sam. Enjoy your stay. The hot water goes off at 9, by the way, so it's cold showers from there on in. It really bugs me. I didn't know her. I know she was called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician. No, not at all. You're completely barking up the wrong tree there. Spoken like the true killer, posing as a detective, trying to frame someone else for the murder. I was in my room, praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work. My prayer that the girl would be safe. We did a reading, a group reading, actually, with a special tarot deck. you get it piecemeal, not everything in one reading. The last one we did showed a young woman being murdered. Young, talented, probably red-headed. Mercury, it's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The cards themselves kind of change. It's a special deck. I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it.
Der wirkt ein bisschen angespannt.
Correct.
I see, but it's small as well, and it has 3 circles attached.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure. I mean, I suppose today you could wear it as a brooch, maybe, or a belt buckle. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
what
why
else
would
used for.
people...
Gucken wir mal die Lexi.
Sam, is it? Come on in. Make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on.
So, fangen wir von oben an wieder die Fragen zu stellen. Rein
I don't
Detective-mäßig.
know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
Wäre mir gar nicht aufgefallen.
Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is?
Tod.
Everybody thinks that. It's such a cliche. The death card doesn't even mean death. Most of the time. The 5 of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want no matter the cost. Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad.
So, wie gut kennst du Brom? Wo kamst du nach August? Okay. Was hast du gestern Nacht getan? Ich glaube, das werden wir uns mal die nächste Frage stellen. Woran kannst du... Was? Frag mal, wie gut ich sie kenne.
She's like my big sister, so pretty well. No. I was in my room all night with Bronwyn. We were painting our nails. No, I mean, yeah, I've already cleaned it off. The cards told us to. Well, the cards of Rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery-pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is. No? Well, yeah. Well, no. We have a job to do. I didn't say job. I said job. Okay. We make a cheese obelisk, a chob, and depending on the shape of that chob, we get different answers to questions. No, you don't.
Also die war jetzt von allen ein bisschen die strangeste bis jetzt.
The alley was a patch of deep shadow where the street lamp had been vandalized. He paused for a moment, then turned into the narrow entrance. The young men looked up and down the street, then lengthening their strides, stepped into the road. The first
Find somewhere safe to transition. You're not a superhero.
Also das waren jetzt unsere Verdächtigen. Sie, Violet. Ist ja ganz okay, aber ich steckt halt unter Tabletteneinfluss, ne? Dass sie das machen könnte. Schwierige Entscheidung. Ein Tatverdächtig wäre ja, könnten auch alle drei sein. Aber am Tatverdächtigen am unglaublichsten waren jetzt Nummer 1, also 2 besser gesagt in dem Fall. Und Nummer 5. Ihn glaube ich jetzt fast eher erstmal nicht. Ich tippe diesmal, das könnte eine Frau sein, die von einer Frau ermordet oder beziehungsweise dass eine Frau die Mörderin ist.
Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Achso, da kann man da schon mal ausschließen, wer es da sein könnte. Okay.
It's been building up in me for the last 8 days, so tonight I'll go looking for trouble. The gates of madness open at midnight. There's no point in trying to fight it, so I have to try and keep...
It's 6 o'clock, and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe?
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
The footsteps slow. Within me,
Pains me to think that I was even on the list, but I'm ruled out because we have video footage of me in the station at the time of the murder. Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. Bronwyn and Lexi say they were in the same room last night. Shame they can't agree which one. The tarot readers have mentioned a job. We don't know what. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, and you found out she's taking pills. Perhaps they're related. That's it.
it overwhelmed 3 skinheads who thought I was their victim, and they were young, strong, and used to getting stuck in. It was worse the second time. I convinced myself I was over it, that I was okay, that I could live a normal... At least I knew what to do when the dream started.
So, da haben wir die Violet gehabt. Dann haben wir die Tarotkartenlehrerin. Da hat man noch eine Frage offen.
Mercury? Sure. I'll just get it. It feels a bit sacrilegious just spreading it out to show you. It doesn't really answer questions, it more asks them. Do you want it to ask you a question, Sam?
Natürlich.
It wants to know if you're happy being the person you are now.
Ob ich selbst glücklich bin? Sind wir es? Also eigentlich schon im Grunde genommen.
Mercury doesn't agree. In fact, if anything, and I could be wrong, it's suggesting that you're not even the person you're saying you are now. I've only had that reading once before.
Okay.
That worked out pretty well. Programming makes me good money. I can work from home and no one misses me if I drop out of circulation for a week or two.
Da haben wir nochmal. Halt.
Beasts. Or am I just one amongst many vehicles for a single slayer? There surely must be others.
Das war die Rain. Jetzt gehen wir mal zu Lexi. Lexi könnte echt. Die hat sich ja so gezögert, die Fingernägel zu sein und. Aber sie war nicht allein.
Barbaric, but at least I tell
Oh, das hängt
myself
200
the
ein.
slayer only takes those that the world is better off without. I find a good spot. The entrance to a yard. Deep in
Ich
shadow,
glaube, wir
under
werden
dark
nicht mehr
walls with a shuttered
rauskriegen.
double door. Just a drunk taking a piss. I stagger into the killing
Ich würde
ground.
sagen, wir gehen mal zum
It's
nächsten
6
Kapitel.
o'clock and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe.
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival.
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Stelle weitere Untersuchungen. Sagen wir schnell weitere Untersuchungen, aber ich glaube, weitere Untersuchungen ist eigentlich schwachsinnig, weil keiner mehr eine richtige Antwort gibt. Ich glaube, wir müssen so weiter fortfahren. Entweder habe ich irgendwo vielleicht die falsche Frage gestellt. Wir gehen mal fort.
Or Mike Tyson, or all three combined, takes control of my body and pours through it. The wild exhilaration of the beast sets my senses on fire, even though I'm riding pillion. The hunter now becomes the hunted, freezes. My hand seize him with strength many times my own. My right hand crushes his larynx as the left reaches the knife from his, dislocating his elbow. Blood gushes from his mouth and nose. I turn his head away to avoid the spray and feel his neck break under my hand. The beast drinks in his life force as it spills out, greedily lapping it like a cat at pool of spilt milk. A great warm surge of energy courses through me, just a trickle of the stream the slayer is drawing in. The broken body crumbles in my grasp. He has fouled himself. I can smell the shit mingled with the hot blood. I toss the body away, expecting it to flutter in the air, the torn wrapper of a toothsome morsel. The ecstasy fades, recalling me to the coldness of the night. Time to get out of here. Not running. That draws attention. Walk briskly and purposefully away from the broken heap in the shadows. A long walk to the night bus. Past a couple of stops. Missing one bus. A thin drizzle mists the street light. I pull my hood closer, seeking anonymity, meeting no eyes as I walk.
So. Wir fahren auf jeden Fall fort.
Trafalgar Square at
Ich
last.
würde mal sagen, wir gehen erstmal zum
Any
Chief.
more news on Oscar Wainwright? Just the tarot readers. No one else is remotely suspicious compared to them. Dorota's an only child. She lived with her mum and dad. Monday night was movie night, so they'd go and watch the 8 o'clock at the Odeon. Dorota would get the house to herself. They're devastated, naturally. They left town to stay with relatives. They didn't do it, Sam. Although, perhaps I should have made them stay. Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. Bronwyn and Lexi say they were in the same room last night. Shame they can't agree which one. Dorota's boyfriend Oscar is in the clear as far as I'm concerned, but I'm still waiting to hear what he tells you. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. That's it.
And another after that.
So, dann fahren wir mal zu Oscar.
Who are you? You're what? Get out of here before I call the police.
Feed the beast.
Okay, war die falsche. War gleich mal die falsche. Gehen wir nochmal.
I told you to leave. When I see Chief DuPont, there's going to be trouble.
Allow him. He was
I told you to leave. When I see Chief DuPont, there's going to be trouble.
circulation to his extremities, and after that, well, he needed a new coat and
I'm a bit busy, Sam. Maybe you can go on my behalf. I'm a bit busy, Sam. Maybe you can go on my behalf.
Ich kann es dann auch mal probieren, aber ich glaube nicht, dass er mich reinlässt.
I told you to leave. When I see Chief DuPont, there's going to be trouble.
bodies of two young men.
You're listening to Radio August, Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
Vanessa, read by Tex Murphy.
Your ability isn't endless. It will run out at some point.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do? I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
And now I was literally holding a smoking gun about to get caught. Wait a minute, I called towards the door. Think, think. Quickly pulling out the desk drawers, I searched for some kind of solution.
Oscar? What are you doing here?
I want to help.
I know. We've already talked about this. You said you'd get into Bronwyn Castle's room somehow and have a look around.
Why?
To find evidence that ties her into Dorota's murder? Maybe you're not the right man for this job.
Two, but not as hot as the gun in the back of my pants. I wince. Yes, officer? We've had a report of gunshots coming from this building. Didn't hear a thing, I tell her, smiling sheepishly. Mind if I take a look around? Oh, not at all, I say, letting her through. Her back of my couch. Alpaca? I nod worriedly. She nods appreciatively. Mind if I try? I protest.
I told you to leave. When I see Chief DuPont, there's going to be trouble.
Vanessa's bleeding body.
Ich glaube, wir drehen uns
She's
gerade ein
armed, so
bisschen
I'll
im
need to be
Kreis.
quicker, or maybe run. The window, I could jump, say 20.
I'm a bit busy, Sam. Maybe you can go on my behalf. I'm a bit busy, Sam. Maybe you can go on my behalf.
corpse walking around somewhere, and it didn't have many places to hide. Officer Peter sighs. I'll get going then. Heading for the door, she turns around one last time. Be careful, she whispers. I'm really not supposed to say this, but the chief thinks there's an onomat on the loose. And when they get in your head, you can't get them out. Well, if I hear...
She flaunts herself. Her body. Her boudoir photographs taken. Who do you think those photos were for, Sam? Her mother? Not really, just gossip. Apparently she went to have some portrait photos done and started stripping off. Weston's photographic. Zach Weston. He'll get himself into trouble one of these days.
Die ist aber sehr berichten.
If you keep taking pictures of pretty girls in their underwear, somebody's going to get upset. Zach's the local photographer. You should go and talk to him, Sam. You're good at talking. At Weston's photographic? Off the high road? It's late, but he's always there. I have a good memory. I'm still holding grudges from when I was 4. Vicar's son? No, as far as I can tell, Oscar is a good boy. But we've all got different faces now, haven't we, Sam? Masks we wear. I could be a satanic cultist behind closed doors, but you'd never know. Would you, Sam?
That is very creepy, but it's kind of my territory.
Yes, he came to see me. He wanted to know that she was okay, spiritually speaking. He confided in me quite a bit, actually. He seemed to appreciate having someone to talk to, and he knew I couldn't tell anyone what he said. Oh, Sam. You know I can't do that. Tarot reader client confidentiality. Oh, she gets easily confused. Youth of today.
Ja. So, und an der Stelle sind wir schon mal raus mit Part 1 von The Let's Play The Shapeshifting Detective. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Ist ein bisschen verwirrend jetzt noch am Anfang vielleicht. Wie gesagt, wir sind ja engagiert als Detektiv und müssen uns durch einen Mord durchkämpfen, praktisch, und verschiedene Befragungen machen. Und jeder einzelne von diesen Charakteren, einschließlich auch der Captain Detektive, scheint auf jeden Fall was zu verbergen. Was? Das werden wir natürlich hoffentlich bei unseren Ermittlungen noch herausfinden, was jeder Einzelne zu verbergen hat. Deswegen hoffe ich mal, dass ihr beim nächsten Mal wieder mit dabei seid, hier bei Folis Gamerhaus. Und vielleicht lösen wir es ja gemeinsam zusammen. Vielleicht könnt ihr mir noch ein paar Hilfestellungen geben. Würde mich natürlich riesig freuen. Und jetzt sage ich auf jeden Fall, ich bin raus, macht's gut, haut rein, bis zum nächsten Mal, euer Foley.